So welcome to the presentation of the master's degrees in telecommunications, Master Met and Master Mat. Sorry. We are going to begin with Master Met. And the idea is to first to present the main differences between both masters. The masters are masters in telecommunications. Telecommunications basically are these four areas: communications, electronics, networks, and multimedia. Okay, so in both masters, you're going to find many subjects about all of these four areas. And you will be working on communications technologies like these ones, or electronics technologies, or networks technologies, okay, cybersecurity, cloud computing, or multimedia technologies like real-time speech-to-speech translation, or augmented reality, or also working on deep learning. Well, let's see the main differences between both masters. First, the main difference between Master Met, the master's degree in telecommunications engineering, and Master Mat, the master in advanced telecommunication technologies, is that the Master Met is the master that qualifies to practice the telecommunications engineer profession. So, for example, if you want to require access to any telecommunications engineer position in the public service, you will need to have the Master Met, the master's degree in the telecommunications engineering. Or if you want to work on your own as a telecommunications engineer, you will need to have the master degree in telecommunications engineering. Okay. The Master Mat is not a qualifying master. Okay, so if you want to work on your own as a telecommunications engineer, or you want to try to get a position in the public service, the Master Mat is not adequate for these objectives. The main difference between both masters is the length of the masters. The Master Met, the master's degree in telecommunications engineering, is a master of 120 credits. Here we have, this means 2 years. Okay, we have a core part, a compulsory part of 45 ECTS, and an elective part of the master of 45 ECTS. And finally, the master thesis in the last semester of 30 credits. In the case of the Master Mat is a master of 60 ECTS, and here in 1 year you're going to do a compulsory part of 15 ECTS and an elective part of 33 credits, and finally a master thesis of 12 ECTS. If we see how you can specialize in these both masters, you are going to see that in both masters, most of the elective subjects are shared between them. We have some exceptions. In the case of the Master Mat, you are going to see that we have some tracks of electronics that they come from Master Me, the master in electronic engineering. And also, since the Master Mat is a master that is given here in Barcelona in Castelldefels, you also are going to find some tracks that are subjects from Castelldefels masters. Even in the case that you want to do some of these subjects in the Master Met, you have the opportunity of taking up to 15 ECTS credits of subjects on other masters. So even if you are in the master med, you can do these 15 credits of these other subjects of other masters. But basically, they share the same subjects. Another difference is that in the case of the master med, you are going to find include in your official master's degree if you have taken a specialization. Okay, so this happens in the master med. No, in the case of the master mat, in the master mat you follow some tracks that are the subjects sorted by different knowledge areas, and also you have the opportunity of not taking any track. In this case, you are not going to find this in your official master's degree, but if you have followed a track, we can give you a certificate of this track follow. Also, we can see the differences in mobility between both masters. In the case of the master med, the master's degree in telecommunications engineering, you can go on a mobility program for doing elective courses. This cannot be done in the master mat, in the master in advanced telecommunication technologies. And in both masters, you can go for doing your master thesis on mobility. The main difference is that in the case of the master med, master in telecommunications engineering, you can do this mobility in the last semester of the second year, and in the case of the master mat, you can go mobility for doing your master thesis once you have finished all of the credits of the master. That means that you are going to need a third semester for finishing your master if you plan to do your master's thesis on mobility. Also, in the case of the master med, the master's degree in telecommunications engineering, you have the opportunity of doing a double degree with other universities, other international universities. We have some agreements with these universities. And this means that in the second year, you go abroad for doing this double degree on another foreign university. And at the end, you can get both degrees. The degree in this case, the degree in telecommunications engineering, and also the degree of the abroad university. That option, the option of the double degree, is not present in the master mat. If you want more information about mobility, you can contact the Vice Dean in charge of this mobility, that's this José Antonio Lázaro. And here you have information on how to contact him. Also, we can see how are the differences in terms of the professional formation in companies or laboratories. In both masters, you can do internships. These internships are paid, okay? And in the case of master math, you can do, curricular internships. That means that you can take 15 elective credits and the master thesis in an internship, okay? That means up to 45 ECTS. And in the case of the master math, you can do only curricular internships for doing your master thesis. So you can do up to 12 ECTS in an internship. Also, in both masters, you have the opportunity of doing extracurricular internships without credit recognition, okay? But you can also do these internships in companies or laboratories. Also, there is the option of doing the recognition of your professional experience. In this case, this can be done in the master med, in the master's degree in telecommunications engineering. And in this master, you can recognize up to from 6 to 10 ECTS, okay, depending on your professional experience in the telecommunications engineering area. If you want more information about this professional formation, you can contact to Frances Ray, that is the Vice Dean in charge of this professional formation. Also, you can take activities related with novel researchers. One is the introduction to research subjects. These are activities in UPC research groups or research institutes or companies. And this can also be used to initiate your master thesis, and you should agree with a professor. Okay? Also, these novel research activities can help you to begin to doing research if you plan to do a PhD. This introduction to research subjects, in the case of the Master MED, the Master's Degree in Telecommunications Engineering, you can take 5, 10, or 15 credits on these subjects. If you take 15 ECTS, this is incompatible with the curricular internships and the professional recognition. Okay, so if you plan to do curricular internships or recognize your professional experience, you can only do up to 10 credits of introduction to research subjects. And in the case of the Master in Advanced Telecommunications Technologies, you can take only 5 ECTS of this introduction to research subjects. Also, you can do a research-oriented master thesis. And in this case, the master thesis is 30 credits in the Master MET and 12 credits in the Master Mat. So these novel researcher activities can be up to 45 ECTS in the case of the Master MET, the Master's Degree in Telecommunications Engineering, and up to 17 ECTS in the case of Master Mat, the Master in Advanced Telecommunication Technologies. Well, let's see the admission. In this case, now we have the pre-enrollment open, okay, from 1 of March to 4th of July. We have 60 places for the Master MET, the Master's Degree in Telecommunications Engineering, and 40 places for the Master in Advanced Telecommunication Technologies. The access, the general requirements is that you need a degree from an official Spanish university or a degree of a European university, or a degree for a non-European university. Is not required the homologation for accessing the master, but in both cases, both cases, you should provide these degrees should provide access to a master's degree or a postgraduate study. The specific requirements in the admission are, in the case of the Master MET, since it's a qualifying master, you need to have done 60 CTS of common knowledge of any Spanish technical telecommunications engineering. Okay. And also you need 48 ECTS of a specific knowledge on telecommunication systems or network engineering or electronic systems or image and sound. Okay, so this is the requirement for being admitted to this master. In the case of the Master Mat, we don't have these requirements of credits. Okay, you need to come from a bachelor degrees in telecommunications, and if you come from other type of degrees that are related with telecommunications technologies, we will see your transcript of records, okay, to see if you can access to all the master, or you only can follow some tracks, or you need some previous subjects, bachelor subjects for accessing to the master. Also, you need, since both masters are in English, you need an English level of B2. Okay, so you need a certificate you need to certificate this level of English. And in the case that with all of the places, we need to sort you in a list, and also when you need to enroll in the master, we sort you in a list, okay, to know which is the order of the enrollment. And we use the academic transcript. We use the competencies correspondence between your bachelor's degree and the master, and also the curriculum vitae to obtain to obtain a grade for you and to rank you in this list. Well, let's see now both masters. We are going to begin with the Master MET. The Master MET qualifies you for doing the profession of telecommunications engineering. So in this case, you the idea is to have a transversal general knowledge on telecommunications, on communications, networks, electronics, and management. And also in the master, you can specialize in one knowledge area, like communications, networks, electronics, or multimedia. Or also you can become a multidisciplinary telecommunications engineering, doing an intensification on one of these areas and taking subjects with subjects of other of these areas. Okay. This is the master that qualifies you as a telecommunications engineer. So if you plan to do this profession, this is the master that you have to take. The master is 120 ECTS, 2 years. This means this compulsory part of 45 ECTS, an elective part of 45, and the master thesis of 30 ECTS. And also you may need to do some bridge courses. These bridge courses are going to use elective credits. Okay, so if you have to do more credits of this part of these bridge courses, you will have less credits in the elective part of the master. So the master is going to last 2 years. The bridge courses come from the elective part of the credits and depends on your academic profile. So depending on your academic profile, you will need to do some bridge courses or not. Okay. The bridge courses are focused on the communications area, the electronics area, and the networks area. We have these subjects for the bridge, and depending on your profile, you will need to do some of them or not. For example, if we see the case of the GRES, that is the bachelor's degree from this school that gives access to these masters. If you come from a major in sistemas de telecommunication systems, you don't need to do a bridge. So the master has this structure of 45 compulsory credits and 45 elective credits and the master thesis. But if you come from a major in sistemas telematics or sistemas audiovisuals, you will need to do these 3 bridge courses. And this means that you will begin with these bridge courses, then you will have the core part, the compulsory credits, these 45 ECTS, and you will have at the end 30 elective credits only, and the master thesis. Also, if this, for example, in this case, these bridge courses are equivalent to some bachelor courses. So if you have taken these bachelor courses as elective courses in the grades, okay, you will not need to do the corresponding bridge course. Then we have the core, the compulsory part of the master, these 45 ECTS. Here we have subjects from communications, electronics, networks, and management. And these 45 ECTS are 9 subjects of 5 ECTS. And this one, the MTP, the Management of Telecommunications Projects, is the subject that you need to enroll at last, okay? The last one of the core subjects, because it's a subject that takes into account all the knowledge that you have from the rest of the core subjects. Well, then you have some academic pathways in the master. You can take an intensification. An intensification means that in the elective part, you are going to take 15 ECTS for doing this intensification, and then you will have the rest of elective credits. You can also do a specialization where you are going to take 30 elective credits for doing your specialization, 20 compulsory and 10 elective. Or also you can do a double degree. And for doing this double degree, you are going to take an intensification, and then in the second year you will be going abroad for doing this double degree. After completing the master, you need to have finished an intensification or an specialization. Okay, this is the requirement for finishing the master. The intensification are these 15 ECTS. We have 4 intensifications: communications, networks, electronics, and multimedia. And in these intensifications, you are going to find here a pool of subjects, of elective subjects, and you are going to choose 3 for doing these 15 ECTS credits in one of these intensifications. Also, we have specializations of 30 ECTS, 20 compulsory and 10 elective. And here we have the specializations: wireless communications, fiber optic communications, antennas, microwaves, and photonics for communications and Earth observations. That are the communications specializations, the multimedia specialization, the electronics, and the networks and internet technologies specialization. So the main structure of the master is this one. Okay, we have you have the option of doing an intensification of 15 ECTS, or you have the option of doing a specialization of 30 ECTS, or the option of doing the double degree. That means that you need to do an intensification. If you need to do bridge courses and you want to do the double degree, this means that in the first year you are not going to finish the core and the intensification. Okay, and that means that when you go abroad, you need to see in the host university which subjects can be recognized here in Barcelona as subjects from the intensification. Okay, this is for people that need to do the bridge and want to do the double degree. Then you have the rest of the credits, the elective credits, and you can take elective subjects in Barcelona or in mobility. You can take seminars. You can also do some special subjects, and you can do the introduction to research up to 15 ECTS. You can recognize your professional experience up to 10 ECTS, or you can do internships in companies or laboratories. That means 15 ECTS. In this case, you can choose only one of these 3. Okay, the introduction to research, 15 ECTS, the professional experience, or the internships in companies or laboratories. Elective subjects, we have many subjects in all of these areas of the telecommunications. In the communications, we have 21 subjects. In the networks area, we have 13 subjects. In the case of electronics, we have 10 subjects. In multimedia, we have 9 subjects. And then we have some transversal subjects that also you can take as elective credits. Also, you have the option of taking subjects from other masters under tutor supervision, and this means up to 15 ECTS. Also, we have seminars. These seminars are 2.5 or 3 credits. They are intensive courses. They are 4 or 5 hours each day, and usually they are in 1 week, in 4 or 5 days. And this week is scheduled after the final exams. Since all of the seminars are in the same week, they are overlapped in scheduling. Okay, so you have to take into account that the seminars cannot be overlapped. Okay, so this is the main limitation that you are going to have when enrolling these seminars. For the next course, we have these 11 seminars. In the fall semester, we have these 4 seminars, and in the second semester, we have these 7 seminars. Okay. Also, we have this course, another seminar that is not in this week, but in this case, the seminar is a seminar of matrix algebra that is given in the first 6 weeks, and you have 4 hours each each week, okay? And this seminar is recommended for new students. Okay? In this case, it's a seminar of matrix algebra, and it's an accelerated program for giving you the knowledge that you will require in some subjects about this matrix algebra. Also, we have some special subjects. These are the CDI, the challenge-based innovation, and the I2P. They are multidisciplinary and international, and they focus on the innovation, the entrepreneurship, and in a disruptive design. Okay, if you want more information about these subjects, you can contact to Ramon Bragos, that is the professor in charge of these special subjects. So in a nutshell, we have that the Master MET is a master of 2 years, 120 credits. Is the master that qualifies you as a telecommunications engineer. You have the option of doing an intensification in communications, networks, electronics, or multimedia, or doing a specialization on one of the 6 specializations that we offer, 3 in communications and 1 in multimedia, electronics, and networks. And also, you can do mobility in this master for doing elective courses or doing your master's thesis. And also, you can do internships in companies or laboratories for taking some credits or doing the master thesis. And also, you have the option of doing extracurricular internships. And also, you have the option of doing the double degree in another university. Now let's see, well, first, do you have some questions about Master MET? If not, we continue, and at the end, if you have questions, you can do it. Let's see with now the Master MAT, the Master's Degree in Advanced Telecommunication Technologies. In this case, the master is a master of 1 year, only 60 ECTS, and you have a core part, a compulsory part of only 15 ECTS, and then an elective part of 33 ECTS and the master thesis of 12 ECTS. So the compulsory part of the master are these 3 subjects: machine learning from data, software architecture, and entrepreneurship for world challenges. And they are given in Barcelona in the fall and then spring terms, and in Castelldefels in the fall term. Okay? The Master MAT is a master that is given joined with Barcelona and Castelldefels. Here you have different academic pathways. You can do a vertical track. A vertical track is a track that focuses on specialization. We have tracks on communications, these 3 tracks: antennas, microwaves, and photonics for communications and Earth observation, wireless communications and optical networks, a track on networks and communications protocols of network engineering, a track of multimedia, the deep learning for multimedia processing, and 3 tracks on electronics, integrated systems, instrumentation and sensors, and micro and nanotechnologies for energy management. These are the vertical tracks that are given in Barcelona. In Castelldefels, they give transversal tracks, these 2 tracks, the 5G networks tracks and the Internet of Things tracks. And also you have the option of not taking a track, okay? So only doing the subjects that you want, okay? So in this case, you decide the subjects that you take, and they can be from any of the different tracks. If you finish 25 ECTS of recommended or elective subjects in one of the tracks, we can give you a certificate of track issued that has no legal validity, okay, but is going to certify this following of the track. The track structure is this one. You are going to have a part of recommended subjects, a part of elective subjects, and maybe you will find some leveling subjects. All of these subjects are going to be elective subjects, and they come from the elective part of the master, this 33 CTS. except in the case of the ETAC levelings. Okay, in this case, these leveling subjects are bachelor's courses, and they are going to increase the number of credits of the master. The recommended subjects are the main subjects of the track. They are not compulsory, but they are recommended, and they are the main subjects of the track. You are going to find 3 subjects of 5 ECTS in each one of the tracks. And the elective part of the track are the optional subjects. And these subjects, in the case of Barcelona, you are going to find a pool of many subjects to choose. These subjects are subjects of 5 ECTS. And in the case of Castelldefels, you are going to find 6 subjects of 3 ECTS each. Finally, you have the leveling subjects that are like the bridge subjects of the track. So depending on your profile, maybe you need to do these leveling subjects for taking the rest of the subjects of the track. Well, the vertical tracks are these vertical tracks that we have seen, that are tracks on communications, networks, electronics, and multimedia. And we have these 3 tracks on communications. On networks and communications protocols, we have 1 track. On electronics, we have 3 tracks. And on multimedia, we have 1 track on deep learning for multimedia processing. And in the case of the transversal tracks, that are the tracks of Castelldefels, we have these cross-disciplinary tracks, the 5G networks, and the Internet of Things. Then the elective, you can take electives from the master, okay, elective subjects. Also, you can take seminars. In the case, if you follow a track in Barcelona, you will see that you need to take a seminar of 3 ECTS for finishing these 33 ECTS of elective credits. And also you can do the special subjects, CBI or I2P. And the introduction to research, 5 ECTS. So in a nutshell, the Master Math is a master of 1 year where you have this compulsory part of only 15 ECTS. Then you specialize on these advanced telecommunication technologies in a track with these 33 ECTS, and finally you do the master thesis. You can do mobility only for doing the master thesis in a 3rd semester. You can take internships in companies or laboratories, but only extracurricular internships. And you can follow no track, or follow a vertical track in Barcelona, or a transversal track in Castelldefels. And finally, remember that you have all of this information in the websites. Okay, we have 2 websites for the Master Med and 2 websites for the Master Math. And also, if you have in any moment any questions, you can contact me by mail, okay, or in person, and I will ask you all of these questions. See? So now we are going to give you information about the pre-enrollment process.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Marcos. I will give you the most important facts you need to know just to make successfully your pre-enrollment, okay? For both of master degree and any of the master's degree of the UPC, you need to go through a website, it's Sistema de Preinscripció, and there you will have to upload all your documents, okay? So can you pass on your papel?
Sí, allá, dónale al...
Okay, so this presentation, as I have already written in the chat, and for those in the room, it will be sent to you. So it's not necessary for you to write anything down, and all you can see in blue are direct links to the website. So it's going to be a very useful information for you, okay? So this will be sent to you, don't worry. The most important fact is that it's open already, the pre-inscription, and it will be open until July 4th. Okay, you can request the master's degree. You will have to pay a fee for 30 euros for each master degree of the UPC you want to be enrolled in. And then you should consider that by the end of July, you will have the official publication of the resolution, of the admission resolution. But let us know that the process is already open and you will probably know earlier if you are admitted or not. Usually it doesn't take long to get the credentials to start your enrollment procedure. Usually takes like 2 days. And then as long as you upload all the correct information, we will validate these requests and then we will send this information to the admission committee and they are going to decide about your admission. As soon as you receive a message that you are admitted, then you will have to accept or not accept this given place. And then you will be send the credentials to the e-secretaria, and there you will have a tax. It's about a fee, that it's about 300 euros, that it's like an advance of your enrollment in September. But you will have 5 days to pay this tax. It's 300 euros that once you enroll in September, it will be deducted from your enrollment. So that's how the procedure goes, very, very briefly. Okay. You also need to know that for this master's degree for Med and Math, it's possible to start not now in September, but to start in February. If this is your case, please do not do the pre-enrollment now. You have to wait until November that we will open again these pre-enrollment procedures, and then you will have until December 9 to request your place to start in February. So if this is the case, please don't do so, okay? I think that's, well, in that case, then the resolution will be in January and you will start in February, okay? The required documents are it depends really on where you have earned your bachelor degree. If you are a student already of the UPC, it's very simple. We just need the curriculum vitae, also the English certificate, and well, your ID, but it depends if you are foreign. But if you have a Spanish DNI, it's not necessary. If you have earned your bachelor degree in another public university, then we need the same as the other ones, your CV, and also we'll need the transcript of records and the bachelor diploma. Of course, many of you, we know that you are finishing now this semester your bachelor degree, so you don't have your full transcript of record with all the subjects passed. But what the admission committee, as Marcos have already explained, you really need to know is which optional subjects you have been taking your bachelor, so they can recommend you the tracks and the subjects you need to take. So it's very important that you upload not an official one, but the one most updated. So maybe from your website in the university, you can get a transcript of record stating all the optional subjects you have been doing this semester as well. So this is very important, okay? And that would be all. But if you are a foreign student and your bachelor is earned in another, as Marcos has already explained, we will need the same, but also if it's not in English or Spanish, we will need this document to be translated to English or Spanish. And also it depends if you are from the European Community educational systems, only the official one is correct, but if not, we need them to be legalized, okay? The legalization, we are aware that it takes some time, and of course, it's not necessary to do it until you finish your bachelor degree. So you can wait to upload all these legalized documents until September, if admitted. But only if they are correctly legalized, then you will be authorized to enroll in September. Also, it's important to have the equivalences of the grades if you come from abroad. And also very useful is a document or a subject description or a link where the admission committee can see all the subjects, the information about the subjects you have been taking. That's very important for you to upload it to. So this is the most important documents. If you don't have all these documents uploaded, we cannot validate your request. An important thing to know for those of you who are students from Spain, and usually they have already having some scholarship from the Ministerio de Educación, very important, you need to know that you have to request it until May 12th. So it's very urgent for you to request your la beca, your scholarship for next academic year, even if you are not admitted already. This is not important, but you don't have to miss this deadline. Otherwise, you will lose the possibility to have a scholarship the next academic year. The information, you have it here on these links. And unfortunately, we don't have any grants for those students coming from abroad. So they need to, if they don't have enough income, they need to ask for their government's scholarship. And there is no possibility here to have a scholarship. Okay? From my part, that would be all. The important thing about today is to have you the opportunity to ask either Marcos or me any of the things you want to know. But just for you to know how to contact us, it would be, if you want to come in person, you have to ask for a prior appointment. Here you have the link. Also, you can have this master website, the website, of course, but the master account, the email, telephone, and also Secretaría, Mobility, and also from internships. You have all these contacts if you want to know further information about that. Now we will open the chat. So if you want to tell us anything from the chat, we will read the questions for those in the room, and those in the room, if they want to ask anything, you please will have a microphone so the other ones connected at home can listen to us. So thank you very much, and we hope we can see you soon in our school. Okay.
We have a question